Welcome to part 2 of soul retrieval. In our last video presentation, we were discussing soul fragmentation as it relates to this lifetime. The question of fragmentation can be further defined with categories that describe the various types that can occur. Transfer. Soul fragmentation can result from experiencing being partially out of the body. Disappearing. This can occur when the child is verbally, mentally, or physically abused by a parent or sibling in a dysfunctional family, typically of a child with alcoholic parents. As they are told, children are meant to be seen and not heard. The child will literally try to disappear in the eyes of the abuser. As adults, these experiences may cause the person to fade and become a wallflower. After a gathering, some might have trouble recalling that person was even there for the event because of the fading effect. Division.
I'm done with this. No more.
This stems from emotional trauma such as a violent argument or a broken heart, but can be from a physical trauma resulting from a combat situation. The soul could divide and retreat to a safe distance during the time of rape, accidents, surgeries, amputations, and thoughts of imminent death or suicide. Exchanging. People in relationships often exchange soul fragments within a love relationship, parent and child relationship, or any other close interaction. An event such as death triggers the exchange of soul fragments. Any event that brings terror between two people, even if they are total strangers, can lead to the evacuation of soul fragments. Compromise. One person gains power over another person, leading to the soul being compromised. This often occurs during acts of sexual molestation or as a result of a curse or some other form of external influence that creates a shift. Unfortunately, soul fragments leave an open door for any passing entity to enter the body at a deep level. Restoring the missing fragments and going through integration protects against future intrusions. Some people might say that this is New Age thinking, but this was a common subject at the turn of the 19th century, and soul retrieval has been practiced in different cultures for eons. So what can we do to bring in the missing pieces? Soul retrieval. With ancient cultures, when a member of the tribe became ill, the shaman was called to do a soul retrieval. It was their belief that this was the only explanation for disharmony to occur. We are talking about the most subtle form of energy found in the human experience. For some, there is a process of removing layers in order to go deep enough into the energy to identify the need for a soul retrieval. Accessing the information needs focus and clarity, so in the event that an entity has become attached or involved, the first step would be to clear that away. People often use language that expresses the need for a retrieval. When this happens, I fall to pieces. Or, I faced a situation and didn't feel together, or some variation on the wording. If a person has been experiencing personal and spiritual growth, the soul retrieval may be the final piece to the puzzle and a completion to years of hard effort. Death experiencers bring back valuable information from the spirit world to share it with the rest of us. They often describe silver tubes or strings coming out of the body that are attached to each one of the fragments. Dr. Baldwin writes, each fragment contains a connected consciousness, like a hologram, that contains a complete replica of a total consciousness that knows the whole and complete connection to God or the highest power. Each fragment has a memory of that perfect state of being, and therefore keeps a perpetual movement toward the eventual reunion that is destined to occur. To access information in the spiritual domain, One must find an altered state that allows for a retrieval of the fragments. The fragment can be found in the time and location of the trauma or even a joyous event. These fragment locations can be spread throughout the universe. Once the fragment is found, it is welcomed back into the body-mind space like a returning piece of the jigsaw puzzle. The return creates the ability to heal, to love and trust, to forgive, or to retrieve some other emotional energy or essence that was lost. Lives can be changed forever, and unlike most healing experiences, instead of releasing or letting go, your essence becomes focused on finding that piece of yourself which was missing. The returning fragment becomes the gift of an emotional ability or a quality, such as honesty, loyalty, or even increased psychic abilities. In the angelic realm, I invoke an angel named Archangel Samuel, who is the finder of lost things. This being of light has the ability to orchestrate a band of rescue angels who search the universe for those lost fragments. By following the etheric silver tubes to the end where the fragment is found, the silver strings become energized in order to facilitate the return of the fragments. I've witnessed people retracting their fragments simply from an awareness that the condition exists and a conversation that identifies the energy contained in a single fragment. I also believe that people heal throughout their lifetimes and can deal with the effects of soul fragmentation, using many different avenues to create a successful return of energy. In many ways, it is a natural evolution of energy that facilitates the retrieval. Upon return of the fragments, an integration period follows. In some cases, a transmutation occurs and an instantaneous balance is achieved. Fears, beliefs, and negative behavior patterns evaporate into thin air. While in other cases, mostly past life fragmentations, the retrieval may take an extended period of functional integration for the full balance to be completed. Then it becomes a matter of releasing the body memory that may be repeating the old patterns. Through a focused intention, everyone has the ability to create positive change in their lives. Dr. Baldwin goes on to conclude, "We discover some degree of fragmentation in nearly every client we see in our private counseling practice. Who among us has not suffered at least some minor trauma in life? Fragmentation as the source of illness is an important concept in native healing traditions. It may prove to be an important thread in the rich tapestry of holistic healing." Thank you for joining me in a journey of discovery and a discussion of human energy. May this help you in some way to fulfill your intentions, and may you fully be present in the life you were born to live. Many thanks and farewell.